The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Crystal Mitchell, do you have
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And Crystal,
we have an exciting show today. Today we have sitting in with us Miss Linda Morgan Sams, but now Miss Sams.
Yes,
she
yes.
also has a show. I had a show. It's on hiatus for the present moment here at Morris Media Studios called
Jazzabrations and Beyond.
That's right.
Jazzabrations and Beyond. And that idea came with you being a guest on the show, weren't you?
Absolutely. My first bug stinging right here with you two.
Right.
beautiful. I remember that.
She got hit with the podcast bud, and she's
Yeah.
like, I want to do this. And next thing I know, she had a Sunday afternoon show.
And we lasted for 2 years, you guys.
So
Before I went on hiatus.
you're a part of the Villagers too, right? With Miss Gloria.
Yes, I am.
Willingham.
Yes, I am.
Torre.
Yes.
Oh, that's the lady that tuned
Yeah.
in with us and
Yes.
has been promoting us all
The
over
Villagers.
social media.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So we
She-
got to give shout out to Miss Gloria
Gloria.
Willingham Torre.
And is the village Lemert?
No.
Oh,
this
just
is
a
her
village.
global village. Yes.
global
She gave me an award last year.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was amazing.
Yeah.
And so me and Jock committed to doing a table of youth this year
Small
Oh.
business.
to come to the event.
Small business village.
It is going to be in May. So
Okay.
that is incredible. Yes, Miss Gloria, shout out to you, dear. And I know she's already said she's coming to George Frazier's event as well.
Awesome,
So
awesome.
y'all get to meet her.
And actually, that's where I first met you. I think the first time I came to the Fraser conference, I can't remember, what is it?
Power Networking
Power
Conference.
Networking Conference. I met Linda, and we got to talking, and we connected, and I think I was talking about my podcast at that time. And then she came on, she talked about Power Networking, and that, for me, from a relationship, from building business relationships, oh my God, the information that is available in that 4 days that we're there is just phenomenal.
Sun up and sun down.
Sun
and
up.
I try to tell people, take a breather, take a break, because you cannot absorb all of it in 4 days. You will get tired.
You can't. You do. You have to pace yourself, and you have to come with a strategy, right?
Absolutely.
So the very first time I went to Power Network Conference, I kind of took it all in. And then the next year I came, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this part and I'm going to do this part. And that was that time. And then the next year I had another strategy and another plan. And then last year when we moved to Houston, it's Houston, right?
Yes.
Houston, I wasn't able to make it, but there was another incredible opportunity that took place that's going to now
Oh, my
materialize in the next year, right?
Yes. Fraser Nation is taking over. If you don't
Okay.
know about Fraser Nation, you better Google it.
Hey, Murmur. Welcome to the Business Zone.
So Linda, so that's how we got into our conversation this morning. Linda called, and we are going to have Dr. George Fraser on next week.
Yes.
He's going to Skype through, and we're going to talk about the Fraser Nation, which is really big right now. And it all kind of fit because our guest today is MJ Duffy. She has written a book, a series of books. There's 4 in the series, and the third book is going to be launched in March, and it's called The Zonkly Chronicles. And so Africa is the background of her book.
Wow.
And so, and that's where we're talking with Fraser Nation, actually creating relationships and a collaboration with Africa and our African American or Black folks, or whatever we want to be called, right?
It is amazing. You cannot miss out. But Georgia talk all about that.
Right, exactly.
Well, before we get started on the show, I want to plug my upcoming workshop. That's on Tuesday, January 21st. It's a 6-class contract readiness workshop. And we're going to be helping small businesses to become contract ready. And we're looking to get about 50 small businesses contract ready by the end of the year. So with this workshop, we currently have quite a few signed up. We've got 5 seats left. 5. Cinco. Got 5 seats left. So if you guys out there are watching and you want to be able to obtain contracts with the County of Los Angeles, this is your time. This is your opportunity. It's not going to wait for you, and 2020 is not going to just say, hey, here's a bag of money. It's not going to work that way. So you got to go out and get it. So we're going to get you guys ready. So the workshop is going to be held at 380 East Woodbury Drive, or Woodbury Road. I think it's Woodbury Drive. 380 East Woodbury Drive in Altadena, and the zip is 91001. You guys need to make a registration or reserve your seat in the class. Give me a call at 888-882-1168. That's 888-882-1168. It's going to be an amazing class. You guys are going to love it.
Awesome. I want to say hello to everyone that's tuned in to Facebook Live to our show today. Precious and Cornell and Michael and Jerry and Brian and Kari. Hi, Kari. How are you guys? Welcome to the Business Zone with Crystal Gilbert.
I have a lot of Facebook Livers on mine too. Hey, Rick and Bridget and everyone. But you probably to hear the show, you got to go to morrismedialive.com and click on the show, and then you will see us.
Yes, you'll see us live. I'm just going
live on my phone, but go to morrismedialive.com.
Hi, Dale Saver. Welcome to the Business Zone.
Right, so you guys can reach us and actually see the entire show at Morris Media Studios or morrismedialive.com on YouTube. I think it's Morris Media Studios on YouTube, and that way you get to see all of us, but you can still communicate with us this way.
Yes.
This week did... yesterday, and I tell you, there was a lot of moving parts to this. I launched my first online class.
Yes, talk to me about that.
Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Yeah. So I didn't have as many attendees, but that's fine.
How many did you have?
I had 23 that registered.
That's quite a bit. How many showed up?
About 5 or 6.
That's not bad. That's your first time. They never knew about you. That's how it usually is. They don't know about you. They don't care about you, so they're not going to tune in. But once they see what happened on the first show.
And here's what I learned. So when you're going through, I have a coach as well. And so, one of the things they say when you're doing online classes, it's good to have a mailing list to get started, right? So that you have at least a following.
Right.
So with my experience, my mailing list is really well used. Which means, and everybody on my mailing list, I kind of know.
So they,
right?
They know.
So they have a relationship with me. Yeah. So that kind of changes dynamics when you're on an online show
platform.
Because your online platform, the classes they cost more. Right, because of just the nature of what you're doing, because you're reaching a broader marketplace. So that was kind of interesting. And then it also, I think, if I don't know, I got to play around with it, but I think an anonymous group, it would be a different experience versus a group that already knows me. So I'm going to run the class. I'm going to run it again, the launch part again, and I'm going to launch it I'm going to do it mostly on social media. And then I'm going to see what that pulls in and boost the ads, and as well as use more on LinkedIn and places like that because it's about freelancing as a bookkeeper. And I'm going to teach them how I strategized and how I created my business, which has been in business. I've been in business for 30 years.
In business, we always got to play the rule of 7.
Yeah.
It takes 7 tries to really start getting people responding to you. Yeah. So when we do marketing, we're going to market the first time. People never heard about you. They don't care about you. Second time, third time, you're getting annoying. Fourth time, and then you start getting to the 6th and 7th time. They're going, you know what? Maybe we should start paying attention to this.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, and this is what I've experienced, sometimes when you're at the 7th and the 8th time, is when a situation occur with you and you're going, you know what? I really need some money. Maybe I should try this credit card, or maybe I need this course.
Yeah,
I should check it out.
Yeah, so that's what I'll do.
Divine intervention.
Yes, I'm gonna run it again.
Yeah.
And but in that time frame, I sat on 2 virtual summits.
Yeah.
And so one, there was 1,000 registers. Last Friday I did that. So now I have a new 1,000 new emails.
Hi, Barbara Lindsay.
And I have 1,000 new emails from that one, and then I have another one airing on the 27th.
That's
so
great.
that should bring in some more, and so then I'll have some new...
You're in the getting to know you phase right now.
Yeah,
they're trying to get to know you, so they're going, okay, I don't know her, never heard of her before, but I like what she's saying. Yeah. So let me listen some more.
And the thing about it, relationships is key.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
As George has taught us, relationships are
is
key.
key.
So
Yes.
because they don't know her now, they're in that phase of trying to get to see. Because they got to get a relationship
with me, right?
Crystal,
exactly.
before they will really dive
So they're
in.
trying to date you right now.
Right, exactly.
Until they get to know you more.
Yeah, they're measuring me
And
out.
that's a good thing, Crystal, because you don't want to be in a relationship with everybody.
Exactly.
So it's about choosing and picking too
That's right.
who you in that
That's right.
relationship
Right, exactly. So, but it was interesting. It was a good experience.
I'm so happy for you.
with. I am too.
Yeah. So actually doing the whole course, now, but it has a lot of moving parts, right?
I
You
can
got to get
imagine.
the emails out and get it marketed. Then once you do that, you got to constantly, because of the relationship, constantly communicate. Then you got to figure out how you're going to get paid. So you got to make sure those links are working.
Yeah.
You got to make sure all the links are working at all the time.
Yeah.
And then in the very first email batch, the links for whatever reason fell out.
We're broken.
Yeah.
And so then I had
That's
to go
technology.
back.
Yeah.
And so, which was a good thing that I was doing it amongst my network, because my network just called
They
me
understand.
and they called me
Yeah.
and they said, "Hey, Crystal, your link is not working."
Yeah.
So then I went back and fixed the
Right.
links and then made sure it went out and this okay. So the next round, that piece will
You
be
got the
simple.
bug. You got all the
In
bugs
6
out.
months, you're
Hey,
going to
Mark
be a
Flanagan,
pro
how
at
are you,
this.
sir?
Yeah,
You gotta be a
this is
pro.
gonna be my new way of. But in the meantime, I had 3 other classes going on live, and then I got another class that is going to start live in February, and so it's been a busy year, and it's good. It's only January 18th.
You know, and one of the things that Crystal and I talked about at the end of 2019 is that we want you small businesses to challenge yourself. If you cannot increase sales by 30 or 40% this year, well, you probably should wrap it up. Okay? You should be able to increase sales by 30 to 40%.
That's an amazing challenge.
It is an amazing challenge. And you know why it's an amazing challenge? And you know why it's also doable? Because many small businesses out there, they can obtain government contracts with the county, the city, the state. So if you want to satisfy the 30 to 40%, there you go. That's your opportunity with the
And
state.
this is for somebody I know. This is apropos for you. You need to listen to this. I'm going to tag you on this Facebook. Exactly what we just talked about this last night.
Yeah, and you also need to do. I just did a series of class. It was a 6-week series with the Urban League on understanding what your business model is and whether or not all the pieces are working. Your key partners, your resources, your distribution,
your value proposition.
So this is, and hopefully you guys have gone through and rethought that. And if it's not working, and it's so funny because one of the young ladies that was in the class, she had this wonderful business idea, and so I gave them an assignment to go do their research on that particular industry and making sure you knew how you were going to get paid. So she came back to the class the next week. She goes, I'm going to have to rethink this because it's not enough revenue in it.
See, that is good.
Yeah.
That is good because a lot of small businesses enter into business because they like what they're doing and they're thinking everybody's going to like it too. But once they do that research that you told her, then she started seeing the real numbers.
Right. And so she saw, and her demographic is the special needs and demographics. And so she wants to be a fiduciary consolidator. And But for that particular entity, there's not a lot of resources.
There you go.
And so when she was looking at it and she started doing her research and reaching out to others, she found out that there's no way for the money to come in.
Yeah.
Right.
So not from the individual.
Yes.
So then I had to say, well, if you're going to do this, then maybe you want to be able to offer do training and teaching and awareness information, and maybe do it for the different associations that deal with special needs, Alzheimer, autism, all those places where, and this is for the child who is about to emancipate or who's about to age out. He's going to be no longer a child, but he's going to be an adult, right? Yeah. And the parents are always very concerned. If something happens to me, who's going to take care of this child that has special needs and can't take care of them?
And this is so amazing because many small businesses, and again, like Crystal just said, it's right on point. Many small businesses, you're doing business, it's like fishing in a pond, but you don't know how many fish are in the pond. And you're going, okay, I got a big family of 20 to feed. How many fish can I take home tonight? Maybe there's 2 fish in the pond. Do you think that's enough to feed a family of 20? So those are things you want to look at. Now, when you're doing business, if you're B2B, right? B2B means business to business, if that's what you're doing, right? The first thing you want to know is your landscape. You want to know your market. How many small businesses are in the county of Los Angeles? And this is some free information we're giving you guys today. There are 244,000 small businesses in the county of Los Angeles. So you want to take that 244 and break it down for your industry and see how many of those are doing what you're doing so you can market to them.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. So you have to be very definitive. So if they haven't reached that 30% to 40%, then you need to go back and look at and revisit.
Come up with another way to work them numbers.
Right. How do you, and then, my big thing, I was at the Urban League and I was having a meeting yesterday. And so Michael Larson, who's the president over there, he said, Crystal her mantra is how many multiple streams of income can you create out of one business?
That's right. And that's a good point. That's a very good point. How many multiple streams of income can you generate? How many streams?
Girlfriend and George is the master at that.
Oh,
he has about 7, and he put them all on social media.
Is he Jamaican?
No. But
he is from the island. So isn't George from the island, George Frazier?
Lumpkin, Georgia.
Oh, okay. I thought originally, his family is from the island.
You know that's a running joke, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
you got more than 2 jobs and they think, are you Jamaican?
So, Miss Linda, so Jazzbrations, that's not your business, though. That's
my passion.
Okay.
That's my heart.
Okay.
That's my important work, I call it.
Yes. So tell them a little bit. Because
I don't make a dime on that.
But tell them why you do that, why you were doing that.
I give my heart and soul to those who are unsung, those who in jazz and blues. And I don't deal with, let me clarify. It's straight ahead jazz musicians who back 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago didn't have no agents who was putting them out there on social media, on video, on any of that. Yeah. And these are some players who play with the best. They were the side, we call them side players. The guitar player in the back, the one who playing on the piano, the one who playing on drum. They weren't out front, but they are just as amazing as the leaders that they were playing with. And so for the past 10 years, I've been honoring and celebrating them, bringing them out of their homes, saying, come on, I would love for the rest of my community who is 50 plus to know about you. We don't know about you. Our mamas knew about you. And they didn't even play the music around us enough for us to even be educated about it. Right. But straight ahead jazz is that kind of jazz that most people want to call snobbish, sophisticated. They put all kinds of words and labels on it. But the players themselves are some of the most genuine people on the planet.
I mean,
I've honored names that you may have heard, like Barbara Morrison, Billy Mitchell, Gerald Levert, Gerald Wilson. Buddy Collette was the one who helped me to get it started. But that was my passion to bring them out and celebrate them.
And this is like an amazing archive of those amazing people.
Yes.
That they needed to be more recognized, and that's what you're doing for them.
Yes.
Which is amazing.
And so now I do a First Thursday blues. I had to separate the jazz from the blues, because There are two different worlds. Although
Right.
some of the players are the same,
Yeah.
I separated them out, and I honor the jazz downtown in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
and I honor the blues right here in my community in
Yeah.
Leimert Park.
Yeah.
Right at Barbara Morrison's on the first
Yes.
Thursdays of every month. Come on, check us out, Michael Gliona's First Thursday Blues. But it is just my passion to consistently honor them. I'm a lifetime volunteer in my church. That's my work. That's all I do.
Yes, I hear
So,
that.
so are you still doing you still have, because the podcast was one entity.
Yes.
But you actually have an event, right?
Yes,
And
every
so
month.
are you having that event still where you're honoring them, or is that just an ongoing thing?
Yeah, I have that event every first Thursday.
Oh, okay. So that's what it, okay.
At Barbara Morrison. It's
Okay.
called the First Thursday Blues. If you look that up on social media, you'll see that First Thursday Blues.
Yeah.
Hey, Lisa, how are you, girl? I'm on here with my friends just talking. But that work, I think I will die doing this work. I'm honoring. I will do this until I know.
Now, have you always loved jazz, or were you a musician or a family member, father, brother, cousin?
No, I got the bug from my oldest brother who used to play Alice Alicanda. Every day I came home from school, that song was on. And
Okay.
that's the brother from Africa. I can't think of his name right now. It'll come back to me. But the passion of this came when I was working for some friends in Long Beach.
Oh, okay.
Al Williams is my
I
main
know Al.
mentor at Long Beach Jazz Festival. And this passion of honoring came while I was working with him.
Okay. Okay.
And it just has taken off from here. Hey,
Now-
Nathan, thank you for saying I'm wonderful.
Now, Linda, let me ask you this question. Your work is pretty amazing, and you are tied into a lot of traditional folks who are pretty good at what they do.
Yes.
How do you see that work tying into Martin Luther King? Knowing we're coming up on Monday, it's going to be Martin Luther King. How do you see that work blending in?
Well, you know what? I think the vision of them consistent and the business aspect of this is I've created opportunities for them to always work.
Right.
I'm in spaces and places where I can hire them to come and play
Right.
in places that they may not have never gone. Like, for
Back
example,
in the day, they wouldn't have access to that.
correct.
Right.
Well, we sure wasn't getting up in the city club
Yeah.
back in the day
Yeah,
because, it wasn't
exactly.
existing.
Exactly.
And that's why I asked that question, because
Yes.
I see that you are doing something for those groups of folks that wasn't readily available to them back in the day. So this is just amazing what you're doing.
And also with jazz, they didn't get the jazz musicians
JT.
and artists didn't get the recognition unless you were, you
Yeah.
made it big.
Yeah.
That say hip hop or R&B.
Correct.
A lot of times, there's a small enclave of individuals that absolutely love true jazz, right?
Correct.
And so this way, you're bringing them back to life.
Correct. And I only honor those that are alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd probably be a millionaire if I was celebrating a dead jazz musician. Because literally, people are, capitalizing on the Miles Davis. Miles Davis ain't even here no more. But those I made it my passion to only celebrate those who were alive. So you had to be a living legend in order for me to celebrate you.
Right,
And
right.
so it is a amazing opportunity just to be able to see them perform. They're still performing in their glory. They still are packing audiences. They are still being recognized and enjoyed.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, people are loving it. We did a series at my church called Jazz Vespers in 2017. I cannot even get away from people asking me, can you please bring it back? I'm
Right.
just one person, y'all. I got
right.
too much stuff to do.
But you know what, though? The folks in the community, Linda, we're talking to Linda Morgan here on the Business Zone. She's amazing.
Linda Sam now.
She-
Sam I am.
Oh, Linda
Get that
Sam,
right, man.
dog.
She got married on
She-
December. I got a pen to prove
She
it.
just got married on December 8th.
2019.
So
So
she wants us
she corrects
to
you.
recognize that her name is Linda
Hey,
Sam.
honey.
Okay?
Taco Sam
But
on
she
Facebook.
has historical knowledge on this industry. And she is like one of those folks who, when you go through history and you've got someone who really knows history, they can tell you from day one, that's her. She can tell you all of that. So it's really amazing to have her here on the Business Zone.
But part of our culture, because jazz and music has always emanated out of our culture, and that's celebrating us in all of our glory, which, when you asked about Martin Luther King, and then we have Black History Month coming up, that's that celebration, that cultural thing. that a lot of times when we talk about us, I hear this so many times that we don't have culture. We do. We have amazing rich culture, and many people appropriate our culture because it is so amazing. Yeah. So we have to recognize everything that we do is our culture, and anything that someone has copied and taken it with them and decided they want to embrace it, that's our culture. And that came from the motherland, and you just can't deny it. Right. Last night I was and I thought this was so interesting, I was at there was a Meet the Candidates that's running for board supervisor for
Margaret Thomason.
Yeah, so it was all of the new candidates. And so there's a young man who is, I think his name is Regard. He's running for board, smart young man. But there was a comment because they were asking about gentrification in our community. They were talking about how do we maintain strong in our communities when we're being pushed out of our communities. And so he made a comment, and it took a little bit for a few people in the room. He says, well, when we really come down to it and we go back to the DNA strand, 0%, he said, how do you put it? 0% are not related to us, meaning everybody's related to us. And so there were a couple of white people and they're like, what does it mean? And they're like, everyone came. So if everyone came, then our culture is very prevalent in everybody.
Yeah. That is so true.
And so that's the interesting. Jazz is, when you hear and you listen to, and you're a musician, so you know from reggae, he was a reggae artist in Jamaica. All of that infused from African music, right?
From the drums, from the beginning.
From the very, very beginning. Yes. So that's our culture. So you may not be getting paid for it, but it's good to do what we're passionate about.
I think she will at some point because she's got knowledge. You got institutional knowledge that many folks who've been around musicians don't even have.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So, Alfred Foster, welcome to the Business Zone. Mustafa, welcome
Pamela,
to the Business Zone.
Thank you for joining, girl.
How's Alfred Foster on yours and mine?
I know. You can watch it on both. But you know what? The interesting thing about the relationship building that we started talking about with George Frazier, because he's coming here on the end of the month, the 30th. He'll be here Thursday at an event at the Crown Plaza. I wanted to plug that in for you guys. Look at it on Facebook. Frazier Nation comes to Los Angeles. But I learned how to network from him 14 years ago. I've now taken those networking skills up to the City Club, Los Angeles.
Yes.
And it is because of relationships that you are even in business. And George says it so eloquently. Without them, you have no business being in business.
True.
Yeah.
And so that's the amazing thing about building relationships with people. And I'm going to watch you as you grow, and the relationships that you grow online, you will be able to see how those relationships get formed. Right. And
I too, when I started my business 30 years ago, I went to a conference that Jerry Foster had put on. It was downtown at the Biltmore. That was my first introduction to
2008.
George. 2008. And I was like, oh, this man is awesome. This is awesome. And so actually the very first one was over at Faithful Central. George,
that was in 2007.
Yeah, so that was the very first one, and I read his books, and I had met him through a guy named Mike Shedd. You know Mike, right? And so I met him really in the early 90s. Mike took me when George had his book Success Grows in Our Runs in Our Race. He took me to an event that they were putting the book together. And Barbara Lindsay was there and a couple of people, but whoever was his handlers, they forgot and all left. And so it was just me and my girlfriend there. And George went, I have no one to take me to the airport. And we're like, we'll take you. And I spent 2 hours with George. George and I are born on the same day. And so after that, he came every year on our birthday, and then I always met him, and I met Deborah Thorne that way. So but I geared how I networked around him as well.
Amazing.
And that's why I know so many people.
Amazing.
People call me the collector, so we got to go to break.
Yeah, we're at the bottom of the hour right now, so we're going to go ahead and take our customary break at 3:30. But when we come back, we're going to bring on our very special guest in the studio. We can't wait to hear from this lady. She's phenomenal. So, Crystal, do you have anything else you want to announce before we go to break?
We're going to take our quick break, and I want you guys to hear Miss Duffy here. She is, I tell you, this book series is
She's
awesome,
unbelievable.
So
wait until you guys tune in. So we're going to take a break for about 2 minutes. Then we're going to come back on. Blow your mind, okay? So you're watching the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Our phone number here is 323-293-3375. That's 323-293-3375. If you guys want to join in the conversation and share your expertise and your information, we welcome that. So take a break.
Subcontractors and small businesses are very good at performing their craft. But when it comes to managing their paperwork and efficiently running their business, not so much. That is why Buchanan and Associates, a multiple award-winning supplier diversity business management, technical support, coaching, and compliance firm is here to help you. Buchanan and Associates possesses core competencies in small business paperwork and government compliance, back office management and business support, business infrastructure and organizational development, light rail transportation program management, assisting small businesses in packaging and submitting their minority, woman-owned, and disadvantaged business enterprise certifications. We even match you up with contract opportunities. Buchanan and Associates has delivered more than 7,500 hours of training to subcontractors by preparing them to become business ready, contract ready, and
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan. Our special co-host with us today is
Miss Linda Sam.
Linda, formerly Morgan, now Sam.
Well, Morgan Sam, we can hyphenate,
Morgan
right?
Sam.
Kind of, sort of. No, all right,
And-
Sam.
I dropped that Morgan.
Okay.
And before we introduce our special guest on the show today, we want you guys to call in because we've got 2 books here today. 2 books that you guys can win if you call in and ask a question to our special guest. Our phone number is 323-293-3375. I'm going to read it again. 323-293-3375. You guys got
to call in.
The first one to call in. There are 2 books, so the first 2 to call in.
Yes.
You guys will win this book, okay? All right.
All righty. So let me tell you who we have. Miss MJ Duffy, that's her actual pseudonym for her writing name. But other than that, for those of you that know me and know her and know Recycling Black Dollars, we know her as Melba Carter. And so she is here today to share. She's launching her 3rd book in her 4-book series, and it's called The Zonkly Chronicles. Miss Duffy, MJ Duffy, Queen of Paranormal, and I'm reading this from the Sentinel. They wrote an article on her in 2012 when she first launched the first book, and it's a romance novel. And as they put it, she was turning up the heat with Lost Love, the first book in the Zonkly Chronicles. It's a paranormal sensual thriller, and it's a page turner. Now, I read both of these books in 24 hours. I couldn't put them down. They were sizzling. I had to go back to Melbourne and go, excuse me, where the heck did this come from?
Does it mean she was making love to Ghost?
Not Ghost, but it was incredible.
Okay.
So, but beyond the fact that she's written these 3 amazing books, there's a little background and history that you need to know. So she battled with dyslexia when she was younger.
Really?
And she, up until she was 14 years of age, and out of that she read Gone with the Wind. The story was spellbinding. It caused her to become a voracious reader, and from there her dyslexia diminished, and she continued to devour historical romances. And through those books, she traveled the world and grew fascinated with the history of the land and the people. So the story takes place in West Africa, and the reason that is because she was married to a Nigerian from Togo.
She was married. He was actually, yes, Togolese. And so her book the background is the enchanted country and the people's spiritual ties that inspired her for her main characters that she wrote in her book. So you want to, before the new book gets here, it is highly suggested that you go and purchase Lost Love and Captured Love, because it's a sequel. The 3rd book is Defiant Love.
And Defiant Love.
And the 4th book is
So which one is the first
Love.
one? Is it Lost Love?
It is Lost Love.
Oh, okay.
So it's absolutely amazing. So we are so honored to have her here. So welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much. And I'm the one that's honored. I love you.
Aww.
And I'll tell you why. Crystal has been one of my most steady fans. And she's been the one who said, you have to make sure that no matter what, you write a book too. And I said, well, I have 4 of them mapped out. She said, get them out of your head.
Yeah.
Get them out of your head. So let me share with you that, yes, when I grew up, first of all, no one knew what dyslexia was. So all I knew was that letters jumped all over the page. And I never, ever could understand why I couldn't read. Right. And not only that, I couldn't tell time until I was 14 either, because numbers and letters just didn't make sense to me.
Right. Wow.
But at around 14, I saw this book. I had already heard of Gone with the Wind, the movie, because it had come out before I was born.
Yeah.
And I just decided I wanted to read it, and I powered through it. And I became so enthralled. I truly could see. Now, this has nothing to do with the politics. It has to do with words for me. And I could see Mammy, and I could see Scarlett. And so I began to devour books. And, I know that there are more children in our community that suffer from dyslexia. Now, the good news is that it has been diagnosed. The bad news, that our children don't always get the assistance they need. Right. So I want to make sure that I say to anyone who's struggling with literacy, who's struggling with reading, that there is hope. That's number one. So I want to say to parents that feel as if the needs of their child is not being met, it can be. It requires aggression and assertiveness on your part. That's number one. Number two, when I reached a certain age in my life, now, I won't say how old it was, but it was very close to retirement. I realized I didn't have a retirement plan, Crystal. I didn't so have a retirement plan. What I had was Social Security, and quite frankly, what I felt then was very insecure.
It's called social insecurity.
Thank you.
That's what it's called.
Actually, they took away 3/4 of what I thought I was going to get. Okay, and they came up with all reasons.
All kinds of reasons. Yes. Yes.
First 7 years of your employment, it disappears. They don't compensate you for that. Well, actually, I was a legal secretary then. That was when I was making some of my most money. But at any rate, I decided I needed a second act. And my second act was to do what I always wanted to do.
Right.
Create some heroes and sheroes that look like me. By this time, I had gone through college at UCLA, met my husband, who was Nigerian, and became really just mystified with the folklore. And so I decided to write a book about some sheroes and heroes that came out of Africa. Africa was the homeland, but just we all know, Africans have gone all over the world. Didn't we go into Europe first?
Yep.
It's amazing to me how, Neanderthals have become very smart individuals. And I think that's because what we found, and I don't want to have a dent on anybody, but when they found that 8 to 10 to 12% of the DNA of most Europeans is from the Neanderthal, all of a sudden they became brilliant people.
And they were out of a cave. Let me tell you where they lived, in the cave.
Thank you very much. So the bottom line is I began to write, and it is about the African diaspora and how we are all over the world in many ways, from music to literature, to inventions, everything from what we find in our homes today to what we find in the atmosphere, in the space ships. I couldn't even get it out. But we know that we've been there all along. Okay. So I wanted to write these heroes, and I did. They're people who look just like you and I. No, they're not witches. They're not werewolves. They don't make love as ghosts. But they make very salacious love.
That they do.
See, I can't wait to hear about this paranormal love affair. That's what I want to hear about.
So, well, tell them a little bit about your characters, and it's not paranormal in the sense that they have very special powers. Gifts that came through their lineage and she's created not just a book, she's created an entire land that is called Zonkali Land. And if you go to her website and you want to share that with her.
Yes, it is. Yeah, well, actually, I was out before
she
Wakanda.
was there before Wakanda.
But you know what? Isn't that wonderful? Afro fantasy. And it really doesn't matter who the author is.
Yes.
And it is mjduffy.com. And Duffy is spelled D-U-F like in Frank, F like in Frank, Y.com. Or
go there
you can go to Zonkali Chronicles.com. And I'll spell that for you. It's spelled like Zankli, but it's pronounced Zonkali. Z-A-N KLI, and then the word Chronicles, CHRONICLES. Either way, and that is .com, you will get to the website. And what you will find is an experience.
Somebody better call in and get these books.
I don't know what's going on.
323-293-3375.
That's
call in.
right. Hey,
any of my friends watching, call in.
Hey, Marcy, Raina, you guys give us a call in here. Give us a call. Get the book.
This book. Somebody call in.
Get the book.
But tell them a little bit about an overview of some of the characters.
Well, the first thing you need to know, if you do buy the book online, it is it is worth it's not that expensive, but it is worth anywhere from $100 to $495. That's what they sell it on eBay with my autograph. And the two books that I have, I will be providing my autograph. They will be autograph copies.
All right.
Let me tell you a little bit about Andre Dunn and Tyler Mueller. Tyler Mueller is like most of us African Americans, miscegenated. But she basically passes for white. Not because she wanted to, but actually her mother gave her up at birth. She was born HIV positive.
Oh, somebody's calling.
But one of the gifts that Zonkleys have is they can self-heal. Mm-hmm. And so even as a toddler, she was able to self-heal. And
we got a caller.
I'd love to talk to them.
All
Do we
right.
have a question or a statement?
Bring them on. Caller, are you there?
Hi, yes, we are.
Yes, who's calling, please? Say your name.
Hi, yes, my name is Sarah. I'm so excited. We're calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
All right.
Okay.
Well, welcome to the Business Zone, Sarah. And who is the other person with you?
Thank you. My husband, John, is next to us.
Hey,
We're
John.
driving home after work in rush hour traffic.
All right.
So we're going to have to mail your book to Atlanta?
We are huge fans. I heard about the interview through social media, and we just tuned in. And
All
we have
right.
read book 1.
I
we have
love
read book
that.
2. We are big fans of MJ Duffy's, and we are so excited for book 3 to come out.
Oh,
Well,
right.
well, MJ, do you want to talk to them? And,
Well, welcome aboard, and thank you so much. I know that couples love my book because of The Chosen.
Well, I'm newly married, so I'm going to get into it.
And have him very close by.
Have him real close by.
But I know that couples do enjoy the book. And the reason why there's a tremendous emphasis on wedded bliss. I believe that there truly is a person that will mirror you and is your chosen. Is the
found
person.
mine.
I know you did.
I believe
and it
that,
doesn't
too.
matter about time because they're out there. And the problem is it's not a problem, but we generally settle. But there is someone
Yeah.
that really resonates.
yeah.
In the book, the woman really never recognizes her mate initially. But the man does. There is a tsunami of emotions
That's
when he
amazing.
comes into the room.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did Sarah and John, did you guys read the book together?
Yes, we did.
All right.
and were you like me? Did you read it in 24 hours?
You know what? It took us a little more time than that, but we became big fans.
Excellent. Excellent. Now, what did you like most about the book, Sarah?
What I liked the most, I have to say, is it seemed to mirror our own life. Because I truly feel that my husband is my chosen.
Wow. Very good.
I feel the same way.
Absolutely.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
I love it. I love it, John. Love it.
So we have been waiting. I've been waiting for it because I see that your second book came out when?
It actually came out in almost 2015.
Okay.
And then there were a couple of personal tragedies that went on in my life, and I didn't write almost 4 or 5 years. Wow. But some fans looked me up and said,
"Get
if
back
you
to
do
it."
not write that third book, we will hunt you down like wounded tigers."
and Sarah, was that you too?
Been waiting.
Well, definitely, her books, that's how I felt about them when and here's my thing, and I don't know, are you a fan of paranormal thrillers, or was her genre the first one for you?
We're excited. We're big fans of sci-fi. We have also been a part of the DragonCon convention here in Atlanta. So
Wow.
MJ Duffy make an appearance. That is our world.
And so I was a fan at that time. That's the genre I was reading. And so when I first read her book, I was a big follower of Judith Krantz, which writes the same in that same kind of, and she had created this also mystical world. And when I read MJ's book, I went, "Oh my God, you're going to be in the same capacity or the same place she is," because the writing is just that excellent. She draws you into the stories and all the other activities, and you feel like you're part of the whole thing. You feel like you're ready to go to Zonkley Land too.
Well, Sarah and John, don't hang up. I want you guys to stay online, and our production manager will take your information so we can mail you your book. Okay?
Well, they already have it.
Oh, you already have the book?
They have 1 and 2.
Oh.
Absolutely, yes.
Oh.
So they're going to give this to the next call.
They're just waiting for book 3. But
That is
thank you so much for calling in, and I'm sure that made you feel extremely.
It did. Just thrilled.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sarah and John, for calling. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, so I was just saying, if that second caller don't come in, I'm going to buy these 2 books. Right? So call on in if you want one.
But not really.
Right, because me and my new husband, we need to read this.
So let me give you the number again so you guys can call in to get your copy of this book right here. It's an amazing read, and it's good for couples. And the number here is 323-293-3375. That's 323-293-3375. Give us a call here at the Business Zone to pick up your copy of the Zonkli Chronicles.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I want to share something else. I know that there are many people who have a book, inside a manuscript inside their head. So one of the things that I do is I coach and assist people in getting the manuscript out of their head on paper, published and marketed. One of my, I don't do a lot of it. I'll be very candid. I take only one person at a time. I can't
And that's
do that.
manageable.
Yeah, I
Yes,
really
ma'am.
can't. But I just finished with the author, Lewis Shepard, who
Her
just...
new client right here.
Yes.
All y'all just, you're off right now because it's going to be me.
the Milk Monster. So he just finished that. It just went on Amazon yesterday. I'm so proud of him.
Oh, fantastic.
But when he came to me, the good news is he had a little bit more than just a concept. He truly did have some writing done.
Okay.
And I was able to connect him with an editor. I don't edit books. I just help you do what you want to do and get that story out of you, and give you the incentive to be very organized and very committed to writing daily. If
So
you
you
do
like
that,
a coach?
you'll get
yes,
that's
what do you
right.
call
And
it?
I give them a
An
swift
encourager.
kick.
I need an encourager.
And a swift kick when they don't
Yes.
get it. They need that.
My honey is now watching. Taco Sam, see him right there.
Hi,
honey.
Hi.
Honey, we're going to be reading this book if nobody calls in for it. 323-293-3375. Call in, honey, for this book.
I got a call last week. I have to share this from a doctor, a fellow doctor that I'd had, a medical doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. Let me keep my hands down because I will definitely hit everything. And she said, you know what? This book has been sitting on my night table for almost 2 years.
Wow.
It has been calling to me, but I had every excuse not to read it. She says, I have to tell you, she is Nigerian, that this is the best book I've ever read in my life. I'm going to tell anybody sitting out there on the fence, I don't know if I want to get the book.
Yeah.
It's not because I'm the writer, because there are things in there that you will learn about your
And
mate.
connect to. Yes.
And you will learn about the natural chemicals in your brain if you are single that you need to mobilize. You do need to mobilize them. You've heard of the grouchy old man and the bitter old woman. I can tell you, reading romance and reading books like this, oh my goodness. It takes
So many
that.
downloads is coming.
Yes.
Ooh,
It's getting me
yes.
excited
Yeah.
now.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Single ladies, y'all better get this book.
It's great for couples.
Some of y'all wonder why you ain't married. You better get this book.
So for the book launch, you actually have an event planned,
Yes,
right?
I do. It's
Okay.
on March 29th. Thank you so much for reminding me.
Women's History Month.
Yeah, it is. And that's why we did it that way. I could
Absolutely.
have done African history, which would have, but it's so crowded.
It's-
and I said, you'll miss it. So at the Culver City Veterans Memorial Complex on March 29th, which is a Sunday, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., we will launch the Zonkli Experience.
Oh.
A part of that is you will see there are chapters in my book that actually have scenes from Africa, scenes from the Caribbean, scenes from South Central Los Angeles,
I can play that
and
role.
scenes from corporate America. I didn't write one thing in there that I didn't know about. Now, there are a lot of activities that friends had shared with me. I have to say, I haven't done everything that's in my book.
He said, let me clarify that right now.
Because I had someone stand behind me at one event, he said,
Okay,
read
so
your book.
we've got about 60 seconds left, and we've got another caller on the line because they're claiming their book. So
Okay.
we want to go ahead. Caller, are you there? Are you on the line?
Yes, I am. How are you?
I'm doing fine. What's your name and where you're calling from, caller?
My name is Noah, and I'm actually calling from Florida.
All right. Well, welcome to the Business Zone with
Oh, I
Crystal and
appreciate it.
Gilbert.
Well, good deal. I appreciate that. I'm actually on the road. I'm driving. But I was listening to the podcast and just wanted to let you know that I appreciate the information. I was looking forward to hearing more about it.
Oh, perfect. You want to speak with the author herself, Miss MJ Duffy?
Well, if something like that's possible, then by all means.
absolutely. I'm here, and I'm all
Good
ears.
afternoon, ma'am.
Pardon me?
Good afternoon. No, I said, well, good afternoon. My apologies. I'm not used to being I'll put on the spot at the moment, but just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate you. I wanted to hear more about it. It was kind of sort of new to hearing about the series, so it sounded interesting. I just wanted to find out more.
So have you
books
read any
one.
of the books?
I'm sorry?
Have you read any of her books?
I have not read any of them.
Ah.
Okay, he gets book one.
I'm a complete novice.
Okay, well, you get book one. We're gonna have to get your address so we can mail that over to you, because that was the request that she would be giving it away, whoever called us. So you will be in for a treat. I don't know if you have a girlfriend, but you might want to go find one, because you're gonna need to have her close by.
Oh, my goodness.
You will definitely. And there is a reason why the books are red, because they are red hot.
Red's my favorite
But they're
color.
full of history. I want to make sure you know that. I wanted to cloak it so that it is a popular book, but I wanted to make sure that you really got food about your ancestry. If you're a human being, your ancestry.
Okay.
All right. So I want to thank you so much on behalf of the Business Zone. We're going to go ahead. We're almost out of time. So if you could stay on the line, don't hang up, stay on the line and give your information to our production manager. He'll make sure that you get a copy of this book. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And
I appreciate it.
keep listening to the Business Zone. Okay. Every Friday. What time is it now in Florida?
It's
Almost
7 o'clock, 7:02.
7:02. So we come on at 3 to 4 Pacific time here in California. So that's going to be about 7 your time?
6.
6 your time, right?
So
3 hours difference.
Yeah. So next Friday, when you're caught in traffic, just turn us on.
Turn us on, okay?
Sounds like a plan.
Thank you so much. You have a pleasant day.
Thank you. You do the same. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So we may not have time for caller number 2, so this one is mine.
We're going to say Linda called in. So we want to thank you so much. As this hour went by, as always, very quickly.
Yes.
So we want you guys on March 29th, 2020, from 4 to 7 p.m. At the Culver City Veteran Memorial Center at 4117 Overland Avenue in Culver City, to come on out for the VIP reception, or for the reception for the lunch package, for an autographed copy of Book 3, the Zonkli Wines, the hors d'oeuvres, storytelling and entertainment that all takes place in West Africa, the Caribbean, and the urban American theme rooms. It's going to be fantastic. The entire package is $75, and we'd love to have you come out, but you need to respond.
Let me make sure that if they mention this show,
Yeah.
they'll
Okay.
come out as a family and friend.
Oh,
so
beautiful.
it would only be $60.
So-
okay, but they have to mention the Business Zone.
Okay.
So if you mention the Business Zone when you come to this event, you will get the family and friends special.
And you can reach out to her at info.zonkleychronicles, that's ZANKLICHRONICLE @gmail.com, or RSVP at 800-926-0079 at extension 805. So put that date in your calendar. March 29th is a Sunday afternoon. Great way to spend the afternoon. And come on out. Mention the Business Zone so you can get your family and friends discount of $60. We want to make sure her launch is just off the chain, overflowing, and that she outsells out all of her books on that day.
And again, remember, this book is for lovers. If you guys are in a relationship or you would like to be in a relationship, this book will teach you guys a lot about being in that relationship, solidifying the relationship, and keeping and maintaining the relationship.
And keeping it exciting.
Keeping it exciting.
and for us newlyweds.
I love it.
So, Linda, you might have to order one so you can then get to two.
Yeah. Okay, I can do that.
So
So we're out of time, and I just want to make one last announcement before we go. My workshop, Contract Readiness Workshop, is going to be this Tuesday, January 21st, starting at 5 p.m. from 5 to 8 in Altadena. The address is 380 East Woodbury Drive, Altadena, California. The zip is 91801. Give me a call, and I'll give you more information on this. You guys got to be there. Our goal is to get 50 small businesses contract ready by the end of the year. 50. So you guys can get contract opportunities and bid on the $3.9 billion in contracts that the County of Los Angeles has, and they claim they cannot find any qualified small businesses. You know they're out there. You know you guys are out there.
Lisa,
so give us a call.
Watching us.
So the phone number is 888-882-1168. That's 888-882-1168. Give us a call.
And I want to thank everyone for tuning in on my Facebook Live. Hi, Lori, and everyone that's there. I won't call out all your names, but just know that I appreciate you tuning in. And next time, tune in at mooresmediastudios.com on YouTube, and you can see the whole entire show. And make sure you subscribe to our channel. Yes. You can find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, myself. And we want to thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed it. Go to Amazon. Is that where we're going to get your book? Or
you can go to Amazon, and you can get either ebook or you can get the paperback.
Oh, I love it.
I suggest you get the paperback.
Read it.
Yeah, well,
in our case, we need to be in the bed reading
It's an investment.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an investment. And next week, we have Linda back, and Linda's coming on, and we're going to have Dr. George Frazier come on, and he's going to talk about Frazier Nation. So stay tuned. Put us on your speed dial. Subscribe to us so you know that we on. And thank you guys. And we're going to tune.
And if you guys have missed any shows at all, you can go to YouTube and type The Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and you can look back on any shows that we've done over the last 3 years. It's all about business. We try to help small businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. So check it out and subscribe. Subscribe when you go to...
And have a great MLK Day on Monday. Enjoy the parade or whatever else, your service. If you're going to provide service to the community, that's a great thing to do on MLK Day. And we're going to sign off and see you guys next week. Have a great weekend, and thank you for tuning in. And we appreciate it.
We're out.
And we're out.
Bye.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.